There is no quarterback controversy in San Francisco, and whoever is trying to create one, Joe, needs to stop trying to create one, okay? And don't get me wrong, Mac Jones has played outstanding as the Niners quarterback, especially given the circumstances. The amount of injuries this offense has suffered, Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, obviously, all were out on Thursday night. That's your starting quarterback, your best three receivers, and your starting tight end. And for Mac Jones to go out and put up the numbers that he did on the road in a short week is absolutely amazing, okay? Mac Jones in his first three starts this year, completing about 67% of his passes, 904 yards, which is he's first in the NFL in yards per game in his tenure so far. 6 touchdowns, 1 pick, and they are 3-0 with Mac Jones as the starting quarterback. He deserves his flowers, and this could be another potential high round draft pick we all gave up on in resurrection in a better situation that we've seen in the past couple of years. We've seen it Daniel Jones with the Colts this year. Obviously, he's performing very, very well. Baker Mayfield is maybe the most famous example. He's performing at an MVP level as well. Sam Darnold's having an outstanding year, had one last year with the Vikings, having an outstanding year again this year with the Seahawks. And then obviously Geno Smith, who's obviously not having a good year this year, but we saw him resurrect with the Seattle Seahawks as well. Mac Jones could definitely find himself next year in an improved situation, competing for a starting job, and then have success next year. However, it's not going to be for the 49ers because, first of all, okay, Brock Purdy, they just extended him this offseason. 5 years, $265 million, $181 million guaranteed, and say they did want to get rid of Brock Purdy after this year. That's a $90 million dead cap hit if they moved off of him in the offseason. I don't see them doing that for any reason whatsoever. But also, this team has gotten to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy before and had a lead in overtime over Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So again, this isn't just some random quarterback they've had no success with. This is a guy they were one play from a championship with. Okay, the defense makes one play against Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy's a Super Bowl champion quarterback. You're not just going to move off that guy super easy. And while, again, Purdy isn't off to the greatest start here in 2025, and Jones has certainly outplayed him so far here in 2025, Brock Purdy is still their guy. Joe, you don't believe me? Just ask Mac Jones, okay? Mac Jones, and I quote, "They brought me here to play as a backup, and that's my job. Brock's the starter. Right now he's dealing with something, and for him to go out last week and play when you probably know he's not at full health shows a lot. I'm just trying to help some wins and until he gets back," is basically what Mac Jones said. So again, I'm happy for Mac. He's playing great, and this is probably what should have happened all along. In the 2021 draft, Shanahan wanted Mac Jones at 3rd overall, but John Lynch wanted Trey Lance. So we're seeing what Mac could have been doing with Kyle Shanahan all along. But again, it's not his destiny anymore. The Niners QB1 is Brock Purdy, okay? That's the end of the discussion. Brock Purdy is the Niners QB1. So I'm going to kick it to Joe. Joe, I know you've been trying to spew this propaganda of there's a quarterback controversy in San Francisco, but what do you think? Is Brock Purdy the guy, or is it Mac Jones?
You know, Mac has got to say that, right? Like, you're a backup quarterback. You're not the guy getting paid $265 million over 5 years, right? You were brought in as a backup. You know your job. You know your role. We've always known Mac was a guy who knew his role. He's all about business when it comes to football. My problem here is that you were talking all this stuff about Brock Purdy. They did the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. At some point in time, you have to just accept that Kyle Shanahan can take any quarterback and make them good.
For sure.
Okay.
No doubt.
So why did you pay Purdy that much money to extend him? I understand he went to a Super Bowl. He's looked good when he's healthy, right? And he can do some things that Mac Jones can't do. I think Purdy's way better on the move. I think Purdy's got a way better arm. Mac Jones, we know what he is. He's a pre-snap read, anticipatory thrower who doesn't have quite the touch down the field. However, he is still good enough to be serviceable as a quarterback and has excelled in this offense. Granted, now it's been a lot of check down, a lot of open space stuff, but he's making the right reads and he's taking care of the fucking football. So I think that there should be QB controversy here, but because the 49ers made the second worst quarterback decision extending Brock Purdy since they drafted Trey Lance, there's not one. Because you said it, the numbers will not allow there to be. If Brock Purdy cannot play another down this year and Mac Jones can win every game, and there is still at the end of the year, Mac Jones be finding himself a new job because he has no place to start under center for the 49ers, at least not in the next 5 years. So his only option is to wait for the guaranteed money with $181 million to run out and bide his time on the 49ers bench or find a starting role somewhere else, which honestly might not be a bad idea. Steve Young did it. Steve Young didn't start until he was 31. I think that the best case scenario is Mac plays for the 49ers in 2025. Now, that's up to Mac Jones. If Mac Jones feels he can sit behind Brock Purdy and bide his time and keep getting better in the offense, learning the offense, being better until that guaranteed money runs out, until that cap hit is lower for Brock Purdy, and then he gets his opportunity, probably the best case scenario of Kyle Shanahan still the head coach there. Because the other options are what? The Steelers, the Panthers, Miami, Las Vegas, the Jets. Do any of those situations scream a situation where Mac Jones can excel? Absolutely not. None of those situations scream it. So his best decision is to play for the 49ers in 2025 and beyond until it's time for him to start. He'll probably be a 32-year-old starting quarterback at some point in time in that situation if Brock Purdy never makes it back to a Super Bowl and doesn't live up to this contract. The other one is possibly going down to LA with the Rams and buying your time behind Matthew Stafford and playing in a situation with a pocket passer who does a lot of pre-snap read with anticipatory throw. But the problem is again, I don't believe that he has the arm talent that Matthew Stafford has. So, it's one of those things, but those are your two options. You have to go somewhere with a good offensive system, and you have to go somewhere with a quarterback situation that's either aging, Steelers or the Rams, or a place that doesn't have a system for you to excel, and you're going to get a lot of money and never live up to the contract. Brock Osweiler the shit out of the Texans. That's what you're going to do, right? Like, that's how this is going to work. So I'm 100% behind Mac Jones in this. I think he is balled out. It showed that, his rookie year was not a fluke. And I just want to say, for all the Patriots fans that wrote this kid off and just maimed this kid, booed this kid, ruined his confidence because Bill Belichick put him in an untenable situation, we are sorry. And any Patriots fan that doesn't feel that apology is necessary needs to look at themselves in the mirror and truly think about it, because it 100% is. That kid, although, he had his problems, he had his issues with the team, we had, McDaniels, it worked fine. And then you gave him Matt Patricia.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So
that was insane. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Joe, Mac Jones, he obviously showed flashes when he was in New England, and he showed he could be a competent NFL quarterback. The difference between, we obviously we're Patriots fans, so we just went off about Drake May, which hopefully you see that episode before this. But the difference between him and somebody like Drake May is like what I talked about on the episode. Mac Jones needs more of a perfect system and a system that fits around him, whereas Drake May can kind of adapt to a different system, and he's just a more talented overall player, right? Mac Jones needs a little bit more talent around him, and he needs a better system that's going to fit more to his skill set. And like you mentioned as well, Joe, it's not like he's throwing dimes down the field, especially on Thursday night against the Rams. In passes under 10 air yards, he was 28 of 37. So again, he threw most of his passes under 10 air yards for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, the second most yards in a game on short passes this season per Next Gen. And that's what Mac Jones has done in his career. A lot of work, short yards. But again, I do like the concept of him sitting behind Brock Purdy for a couple more years potentially, because again, this is the perfect system for him. This is, like I talked about, this is exactly who Kyle Shanahan wanted. So if he wants to sit back there, yeah, right. Yeah, this is exactly who Shanahan wanted. So if he sits behind Mac Jones or he sits behind Purdy for 2 more years, and then the dead cap hit goes down to, 30 million instead of 90, then maybe they get rid of Purdy and they just let Mac Jones slide in there, So, but I do feel like this feels more to me like a Minnesota Vikings from last year's situation where JJ McCarthy's hurt, Sam Darnold comes in, Sam Darnold balls out, gets a big contract somewhere else in the offseason. That's what I feel like is going to happen with Mac Jones here. I don't know if anybody's going to give him the, 100 million or 40 million a year that Sam Darnold got last year, but I think Mac Jones is going to go somewhere, and he is going to have success, with another franchise next season. But we gave up on Mac Jones way too soon. That's a fact, Joe. As far as Patriots fans go, we gave up on Mac Jones way too soon, and Mac Jones has proved he is still a really good quarterback in this NFL.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.